Good afternoon. I wanted to talk to you today about depositions. You've been noticed to attend a deposition. This is an important part of the process in workers' comp, but it is also not something to get you all excited or worried about or anxious or fearful, okay? We want you to understand that this is a process that takes place in about 70 to 80% of the cases, all right? So this is normal for each person who gets hurt on the job. And essentially think of a deposition as being this. Deposition is where the defense attorney now gets to talk to you face to face and ask all the questions that I ask and even more that I asked when I first met you and we took on your case. They're entitled to get that information. We don't hide anything from them. They get to ask you questions about your medical history, your employment history, your family history. They get to ask about your job duties, how you got hurt, what the nature of the medical treatment is. Have you had any of these kinds of problems previously? Okay, so they're entitled to get that information so that they understand exactly what the case is all about and they know how to recommend further handling of the case to the party that they represent. So it's very important that you know that they're there to get information. So therefore, your job is, of course, to be honest in responding to them. Also be cooperative. In other words, if you know the answer, you can't say, well, I don't know what the answer is, because if you know it, you've got to give the answer. All right? It's very important. Now, the other side of that is you're not going to know the answer to every question that they ask. All right? You may think you are, but your memory is one that is, you're just like everybody else in the human race. Our memories are good until they're not as good as they should be. Now, and I don't mean just because of our age, okay? I mean because we tend to forget things that are not relevant to us, that we just don't have need for as time goes on, 2, 3, 6 months from now. I know for sure that you know what you did on January 1 of last year, but you may not remember what you did on January 1 of 5 years ago. And yet on January 1 of 5 years ago, you knew what you did on that date. So we tend to forget things, and it's okay if you have forgotten. But if you do have the memory, then it is your role to of course, cooperate with them and give them the best answer. Now, that moves me to the second point of this deposition talk, and that is, what's the best answer? The best answer is honest, but the best answer of everything is a short answer. Too many of my clients, even after they've gotten this video and reviewed it, and I've talked to them at the deposition day before we go in to the actual room where we take the deposition, I remind them that a short answer is better than a long answer. And yet my clients still feel like they got to explain or tell their story. The deposition is not a day to tell your story. That's at trial. And I ask the questions and I make out very logically the case of all of things that are important to the judge to understand it in a logical manner. The questions asked by the defense attorney are not going to be logical. They're not going to be in order that you think they should be. So the bottom line is you're going to wonder, in fact, some questions they ask, why am I even asked that question? I don't have an understanding. But there you have a wide berth as far as what they can ask for and what they want to get information about so that it helps them give proper and appropriate recommendations to their client. And quite frankly, that's what we want, because we want them to make a valid recommendation to their client as far as how they're going to handle each stage of your case. So back to the deposition, the key is to be short. Give a 1-word or 2-word or 3-word or a phrase answer and not explain yourself, because at trial, we'll explain it. In the deposition, you're just providing cooperative attitude to answer the questions that you know. And if you don't know the answer to the question, and believe it or not, there will be those, you won't remember certain things, and more importantly, you won't know certain things. But my clients somehow think, oh, if he's asked me the question, then I should know it. No, you shouldn't. You should know the ones you do know, and don't try to make up or guess. The real rule in depositions is do not guess. If you don't know the answer, say that. If you have to guess at the answer, say, I'd have to guess. I don't have it. I don't know that, or I don't remember it. Okay? Those are very critical concepts in the understanding of what a deposition is and what it's all about. What should you wear to the deposition? Very simply, something that you would wear casually. I clean, of course, but nothing, you don't wear a coat and tie. I don't. I'll wear an open collar with my coat, no doubt, but that's all. It's not fancy, but dress appropriately and dress respectfully. And then how long will it take? The depositions usually take somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. So that's what you can kind of count on. We're going to send out another video on depositions and specifically about how to answer certain kinds of questions that'll be helpful in preparation for your upcoming deposition. Thanks and have a great day.